She was coming out of the water and he goes, "Girl, you huge." That stuck with me. And it was huge in a good way. Welcome back. Or is it me who's welcomed back? I'm not sure. I am still sick. I am gonna sound awful because I've only been on my medicine for 2 days, my antibiotic for 2 days. So I'm still in the healing process and I still sound a little bit like I'm a 2-pack-a-day smoker, I think, or somebody who just has a lot of stuff stuffed up their nose, and I do. But it's things I'm trying to get rid of, if you catch my drift. I've gone through a lot of toilet paper in this house because I'm too cheap to buy Kleenexes for that when I have toilet paper that does the same thing. So I've gone through a lot of toilet paper in the past week trying to get rid of what's up here. It's in my ears, it's in my nose, it's in my chest, everything. It started off as a cold, but as an asthmatic, a cold is never a cold. It always turns into something more. So I always have to go to the doctor because I need antibiotics and an inhaler and a steroid, and it's just a lot. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. So please excuse my voice and some things that I might say because you thought I was weird before. Just wait till you see me weird on sinus medication. You've got something coming. I'm very not filtered then. So I apologize in advance if I say not nice things, or I say nice things, but they're said weirdly. That's the drugs. Just remember that. That's the medicine I'm on. Don't blame Cindy completely. It's not all Cindy's fault. It's medication. Okay. I am sporting this lovely linebacker shirt. I feel like I need to be on a football team with these shoulders like this, but it's comfy. Also, I wanted to point out my earrings. The people who I went to college with, a lot of us live here in the town that I live in outside of Houston, and we have gotten old together and raised our kids together. And one of my friend's daughters, her name is Cammie, and Cammie, out of all of my friends, she is the only one who watches my videos. So Cammie is special in my heart. And she wanted a shout out. So I promised Cammie that I would give her a shout out and wear the earrings that she makes. She has started making jewelry. I'm so proud of her, but I promised I would shout her out and point out my little earrings that Cammie made for me because I love that girl. Plus, you know, anybody that sits through this and they're like 11 years old, bless their hearts. And she does. She can quote me on other things I've said in other videos, and that's a little embarrassing because y'all know what I've said. Now, something else that happened during the break is at Christmas time, I sent Cassandra over at Craftably Ever After a little package. She lives in Denmark. She is also a Mariah Elizabeth fan, who's another YouTuber. She's not able to buy some of the Mariah Elizabeth merch that's now available here in the US. So I got her some of those because she and her daughter are both Mariah Elizabeth fans, and I sent those to her at Christmas time. And she was sweet enough that she sent me one of her little bears, and it's a little rainbow bear because Mariah Elizabeth rainbows are kind of a big deal. And I got a rainbow bear, which I just love. Cassandra loves bears, and I thought this was perfect. I've named her Cassie after Cassandra. She's going to be back here on my shelf, but I just wanted to say thank you to Cassandra, and I love her so much. Now, y'all said you wanted a longer video. You were fine with that, so I don't know if this will be longer or if I'm going to end up having to cut a lot of stuff because I'm going to just be an idiot. I'm going to go through some things that I've been working on because even while I was sick, I still was trying to get things done to show y'all. The first thing I want to show y'all is this is my hippo, and this is from Pica Pau 3. In the book, her name is Peggy Hippo, but my hippo, her name is Gloria, after the Madagascar Gloria hippo. Look at her tummy. Just look at that. And these pants that come up over that. Oh my goodness. I just love her. In Madagascar too, there is a male hippo. If y'all aren't familiar with cartoons, just ignore me. But I've had to watch a lot of cartoons because of my kids. And when they were little, they really loved the Madagascar movies. In Madagascar 2, there is another male hippo, and his name is Moto Moto. And he is watching Miss Gloria as they are swimming in the Amazon thing. I don't know. It is a body of water in a jungle. What is that called? Water. They were in that. She was coming out of the water and he goes, girl, you huge. That stuck with me. And it was huge in a good way, which is why I liked it. It wasn't like, you're too, no, it was huge in a loving, you're hot kind of way. And that's what this girl is. She is hot. I crocheted her a little headband with a little flower. She doesn't have that in the actual book, but I wanted to fancy her up. You know how I do. I add extras where there really doesn't need to be extras, but for some reason I feel there needs to be extras. And then her awesome little pants. The pants are the best part with this belly. Oh my goodness, I love her. And then she is wearing this little shirt that has circles on it. I know that I'm not going to be taking off Gloria's jacket very much, so I sewed a little button on here at the top, so it's going to stay on all the time. Also, her arm sleeves are a different color than her shirt. It might have been for that reason, because I don't want somebody taking off her sweater and noticing her arms don't match her shirt, because they don't. Y'all, I was on medication. You just don't think the same way. And I wasn't. You'll also notice that I have new glasses. I didn't have them when I was doing this. And these glasses, they're so cute because they're cat eye, and I love cat eye glasses. Also, they're progressives. If you don't know what a progressive is a fancy word for bifocal without the line. So I'm in bifocals. That's another hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. I can see a little bit better. Now I can also tell the difference in the color of her arm color and this color. So that's all fixed if you just sew on the sweater, which I did. I used thread to do the little bobbles at the bottom. It called for a fingering weight yarn, which I don't have any fingering weight, and I figured thread would work just fine. So I made these little bobble things out of thread. I like her a whole lot. Man, I love chunky stuff. Is it because I'm chunky? Yes. But this means that I am one down in my Pica Pau goal of making all the Pica Pau and Pica Pau 3. Did that make sense? That was a lot of Pica Pau. That means that I'm one more down. So I've made 3, 4. No, I don't know. I've made another one though. I have less to make now. I also worked out of one of my crochet books that I got for Christmas, and it's the Wallace and Gromit book by Sarah Jane Hicks. And Sarah Jane Hicks, she has a bunch of books out. She actually, I think, just released one about Chicken Run. It is called Impeccable. Peck. You get it? Peck. Chicken. Peck. It just came out also. And this is a really cute one. It has all the characters from the Wallace and Gromit movies. Here's Wallace and Gromit. And they are so cute. They were great to work up. And Wallace also has a loaf that he carries here. I know y'all are wondering, what is that large thing protruding from under his arm? It's a loaf of bread. This is bread. It looks like a loaf of bread, doesn't it? But that's what it is. It's a loaf of bread. And he's going to carry his loaf around under his arm. And that's the way it is in the pictures. And they are bacon. I will say that if you are used to US terms, this is written in UK terms. And you need to remember that. Because if you don't remember that, you're going to start off making everything in double crochet. Because their double crochet in the UK is our single crochet. And actually, I was at the beginning of the illness. And I started crocheting in double crochet because I wasn't thinking straight. And I had to redo all that because I was like, this is turning out huge. And that's why. I was using the wrong stitch. I was not thinking clearly. So I figured out that that was wrong because it was pretty obvious soon after starting that that was very much not correct. It's UK terms, just know that, and that's a really easy conversion. Everything else is pretty much the same. You just need to remember, anytime you see DC, that actually means SC. There are a lot of fine details you need to work on. All of the yarn that I used in these two is from my Crochet Society advent calendars. It worked out perfectly. I think everything except for his pants is Crochet Society yarn. There is a lot of detail work, mostly around the face, and their eyes are French knots, and I hate French knots. And the reason I hate French knots is because I cannot do a French knot. I've tried. I can't do them. So what I do is I tie a couple of knots in my yarn and I thread it through both ends to the back of the head and then tie it up back there. It's a lazy man's French knot, I guess is what that is. Wallace's mouth is also kind of detailed and it looks a lot harder than it actually is. The outside, I made a chain of stitches and sewed those on to give the mouth that kind of bigger look. And then you actually crochet the teeth in, and then later you go back with thread and you detail the teeth. So that really wasn't that hard. The instructions are great in there. She has a good stitch guide. There's a bunch of characters. There's a lot of photos from the movies to reference who each character is. There's the love interests, the dogs, robots, everything. It's a really great book, and I highly recommend giving it a shot if you're a Wallace and Gromit fan. I definitely give it all the stars. It's a really fun one to work up, especially if you love characters with a lot of detail work. If you don't enjoy that, I would stay away from this book because there is a lot of sewing because you're adding so many details to the characters. Just know that in advance. The next thing I worked on was I was a pattern tester for Shannon at the Spoonie Stitcher for a pattern she just released last week, I think. And it's her love bugs, and they were really cute. I had a lot of fun, and I got to use my new yarn that was my New Year's intention breaking. Here are my love bugs. They're very cute. I have named them Fred and Ethel after the I Love Lucy next door neighbors because I wanted to, and they're mine. So this is Fred and Ethel. In Shannon's pattern, she has stitched eyes, so I did Ethel with those, and then I did Fred with the safety eyes just to see what it looked like. If y'all hear dogs barking, somebody's living their life outside. My dogs really don't like it when people walk outside of our home. It's a faux pas upon all levels. These were a really cute and fun pattern. They work up super fast. I did this one first, and she took probably about 45 minutes the first time. And then when I did him, it was like 35 minutes. I cut my time because I figured out the pattern. It's a pretty easy repeat. She does a thing, which I've seen on a few other patterns, where you do a slip stitch. When you do a color change, you do one row of a slip stitch. And then when you come back the next time with that color, it's going to not look like you have a huge jog in colors. It turned out really cute and fun. I believe this is a free one she has, and if you join her Facebook group, I think it's in that group. You can have a look at this pattern and some of her other patterns. Thank you, Shannon, so much for letting me test it for you. So that means I get to show you my yarn that I bought. I follow Katie Did on Instagram and Facebook, and she was showing some of her new makes using this yarn, and it was just so pretty. It reminded me of being back in the 90s, and there used to be a store called Laura Ashley. If you're old like me, you might remember the Laura Ashley stores. And they were really known for these beautiful floral prints and all these different shades of colors. And I loved those colors. And this yarn really reminded me of some of the Laura Ashley prints. And that's why I got it in almost every single color. I didn't get every color, almost. So let me show you my Laura Ashley reminiscing yarn haul that broke my January intentions for the year, but I haven't bought any yarn since then, so yay. Also, I've been sick for like a week and a half, so there's that too. This is from Premier, and it is their Bloom Chenille, so it feels like the Premier Parfait yarns, and it is so soft. I think it's even softer than the Parfait yarns, but it is so pretty. Where do we begin? Now, of course, this is the color that drew me in because this is what reminded me so much of the Laura Ashley. And it's this one, which is kind of a light baby blue with pink and green. They're made looking like they're flowers and leaves. So there's this one, and this one is called Larkspur. What is that? Of course, another in that realm of blue, it's more turquoisey. This one is called Begonia, and it's more of a darker, when you compare the two, it's a darker blue. And the flowers are a little bit more red. Now this color reminded me of my grandma. I had a room at her house, and this reminds me of the colors that were in my room. And it's the yellow with the little pink and reddish flowers. And this color is Buttercup. That's so cute. This is the color of Ethel. This is Tulip, which is like tulip back there. I remember Laura Ashley having a color some fabric, very much like this one. And this color is Dewdrop. That's pretty. So compared to this blue, it's more of a green. It's really pretty though. Now these other ones are more the white background with just kind of a floral influence. There's the pink, there's blue, and there's orange flowers. And I just thought they were so pretty. And I got 2 of all of these, which means I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 skeins. Was there a sale? No, there was not a sale. But this was worth it, and I'm not sorry because I think they're gorgeous. Thought they would be so pretty for some spring makes or little bunnies. Like this color I thought would be so pretty for a bunny, and then to do an orange carrot, or to do something in blue and then this be an accent, a little accessory you could put with it. But that was my plan. Obviously I had plans for a lot of things. That's why I have 16 skeins of this yarn. Like I said, I'm not sorry. I'm quite pleased with my purchase. The last thing I made was a strip for one of my mix and match blankets from my mix and match book. This is for my kind of obnoxious colored blanket because I don't know if I've made it clear or not. I love color and I love big color. If I could have my house in some crazy colors, I would. My husband has said no to that though. And I get it. It makes sense. He doesn't want it to look like a 12-year-old girl lives here and just wants everything just big. I think it would be beautiful, but he says no. And he lives here too, so I kind of have to go with that. So this is my opportunity to go big with colors, and I have. First is this panel, which I love. This is green. I think this is Brava, my We Crochet Brava green with my hot pink sparkle yarn that I got during my sparkle shopping. I think it looks perfect with this green. It's so pretty. I did this little strip in hot pink. I did this in the turquoise. And then this is the Schitt's Creek that I just finished. And I actually really enjoyed working with the Schitt's Creek. It doesn't split. It has a really nice movement on your hook. I really did enjoy working with it. And once you work it up, it doesn't have that feeling that it has on the skein. I do recommend giving this a shot if you haven't tried Schitt's Creek. There's a lot on those skeins. A little bit goes a long way. All of these colors together, I think will be so pretty. Once they're kind of all mixed up and I add the other obnoxious things that I'm gonna do to this, it's gonna be wonderful. Every time I add a thing to it, it's a little bit of a surprise to me too, so I really don't know what's coming up with this. I just go with what I feel, and we don't always know what I feel. Right now on medication, it's just really weird. It's really weird things that could happen. There's a lot of other stuff that I've worked on while I've been away, but I can't show you that part yet because I've got to save things for other videos that are coming. But I did do a little online shopping. Not for yarn though. I stayed away from yarn. I stuck with pattern books. There's more of those, like a lot. Thank y'all so much for being so patient while I was gone. A lot of y'all seem to count on these videos on the weekend, which surprises me. And I evidently have a lot of twins all over the country that think inappropriately and say those things, possibly out loud. I am so glad to know that I have relatives out there because really most everybody in my family is dead. I don't have any brothers or sisters. It's nice knowing that there are so many of you out there that have identified with me and make these videos really fun for me to put out for you and hopefully make you giggle, because that is one of the main intents, is to make you laugh. I appreciate you for being patient and tolerant of whatever has fallen out of my mouth during this video, because really I don't know until I go and I edit and I think, oh my gosh, why did you say that? But some of y'all seem to like what I've said, so bless you. You're a kind soul and probably a little quirky, and you're my people. And hopefully by my next video, I'll sound less like a smoky hooker, like crochet. It's the crochet kind, not the other kind. Though if that's a profession for someone you know, I'm not knocking the profession. Everybody's got to live. But the crochet kind is really what I was referring to. Hopefully I'll be better and I'll sound more like myself and less like that. But thank you again for being here, and I will see you next time here on the Rumi Mill. Bye.